In this video, we're going to be ranking the minigames in Pokemon Stadium 1 and Pokemon Stadium 2 from worst to best. They're known for being the games that allowed you to play your Game Boy Pokemon on the big screen on your Nintendo 64 in 3D using the Nintendo 64 transfer pack. But you really get the meat and bones of your enjoyment from the minigames in this series because they're pretty exciting. I've had very lively game sessions with friends where not only obscenities were thrown, but also an N64 controllers were thrown from the intense mini games collected in these two excellent Pokemon games. Number 21, the worst Pokemon Stadium minigame is Topsy-Turvy, in which players control a Hitmontop in a Beyblade battle, and like Beyblade, it's a very dual experience. The goal is to bump your opponents out of the arena as many times as possible, using the A button to knock them out. Snore War from the first Pokemon Stadium is ranked at number 20. In Snore War, players play as a Drowsy and press the A button to perform hypnosis every time the pendulum gets to the center. It's basically just a timing minigame to find out who is the wokest Drowsy, and is apparently titled Snore War because it's so boring it will put you to sleep. I'm awake. Number 19 is Eager Eevee. In this quick draw type minigame, players are Eevee circling a lid that is lifted by an A palm. When the lid is lifted, players press the A button to dash as quickly to obtain the most fruit. The B button allows you to feint to try and get your opponents to dash in at the wrong time. This is just too basic of a minigame to warrant a higher ranking. The different fruit have different values, and the Pineco, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a penalty, but not very fun. Thundering Dynamo is number 18. Players are randomly either a Pikachu or an Electrode, and are tasked with simply pressing the B button when the lamp is green and the A button when the lamp is blue. The winner electrocutes the losers. Overall, Thundering Dynamo is a shockingly simplistic disappointment of a minigame. Pichu's Power Plant is practically the same minigame as Thundering Dynamo, except all players are Pichus, and now you have to press a direction on the control pad while you are mashing the A or B buttons in order to zap your opponents. This added depth and nuance makes the gameplay slightly more exciting than Thundering Dynamo, which lands Pichu's Power Plant at number 17 on our rankings list. Rampage rolls into the 16th spot on this list. Players are racing as Donphins for 9 laps around a dirt rectangle. Each lap you get dirt tornadoes you unleash using the A button, which will disrupt your opponent's running paths. Rampage Rollout might be more of a minigame than some of these other games, but it's missing a fun factor. Furret Frolic is number 15. Using the control pad to move into the different grass areas, you press the A button to hit the Pokeballs with your Furret's head, hopefully toward your goal area. Each Pokeball type is worth a different number of points, ranging from 1 to 5 points. This game is decent fun and is reminiscent of Ferret Soccer. Run, Rattata, run, Tatata, run, run, Tatata, run. This OG Stadium game is quite fun. Press up to jump, press A to run. Rattata's running on a treadmill. Fun mini game, but don't need skill. Run, Rattata, run, run, Tatara, run, run, Rattata, run. Now it's on to the next one. Clefairy Says is the Pokemon equivalent of Simon Says, A teacher Clefairy shows directional inputs on the chalkboard, and players have a small amount of time to input the increasingly longer and harder inputs. Incorrect inputs will result in losing part of your life bar. The last Clefairy standing wins. I mean, some of these inputs look like fighting game moves. Barrier Ball ranks number 12 out of the minigames in the Pokemon Stadium series. Barrier Ball reminds me of air hockey, but with 4 players using Mr. Mime's signature move to score Pokeballs into their opponent's goals. Also, if you get scored on, you lose a point. There's a timer on the right of the screen, but I've never seen it reach 0, so I think if you reach 5 points, you win and the game ends automatically. It's quite fun. Streaming Stampede tramples its way onto our 11th spot. In Streaming Stampede, players are either an Igglypuff or a Cleffa and are tasked with a simple observational task of counting specific species of Pokemon or all of the Pokemon that are crawling or running across the screen. For every Pokemon you count, you press the A button to add them to your counter. Once all the Pokemon have crossed, the correct number is shown, and players are scored accordingly to their correctness. Baby simple, but fun. Magikarp Splash is the 10th best minigame in the Stadium series. Players simply press the A button to jump in order to hit the counter, suspended in the air. With the correct timing, your Magikarp will splash more quickly and efficiently. The player with the most splashes obviously wins. The sound effects alone warrant a playthrough of Magikarp Splash. Egg Emergency falls into the 9th spot. Players take on the role of a Chansey whose goal is to catch as many of the 100 eggs falling from the sky while avoiding the electrifying Voltorbs that are also being dropped down. Getting hit by a Voltorb will cause you to lose some of the eggs you've already caught. The L and R buttons are used to pivot your Chansey in order to catch the eggs in your pouch. In Dig! Players press the L and R buttons alternatingly to have their Sandshrew dig a well. The first to hit water wins. I mean, it's pretty fun. If you, hit L or RR, in a row, you'll stop digging, and it'll, affect your time. Gutsy Golbat flies into this rankings at the 7th spot. This might be the most game minigame in the Stadium series. Players press the A button to fly up and use the control stick to avoid Magnemites and collect hearts, and ram into your opponents to knock the hearts out of them so you can collect them. Once the level ends, whichever Golbat has the most hearts win. And Jinx is at the end of the level blowing kisses, which is kinda odd. Clear Cut Challenge slices its way into the 6th spot. Players are either a Scyther or a Pinsir. Logs are dragged upward, giving players a chance to see when to press A in order to cut the log. The log is then dropped. The closer you are to the desired cut, the higher you score. There are 5 logs to cut per game. This minigame is a cut above the rest. Ekans Hurl Loop constricts itself around the 5th spot. You aim the Ekans you are about to throw using the control pad and toss it with the control stick in hopes of looping it around as many Diglets that pop out of 9 holes in the ground. Golden Diglets are worth 2 points. Time limit is 60 seconds. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like Whack-A-Mole, except you're throwing Ekans instead of hitting the moles, which are Diglets. Rock Harden takes the 4th spot in this list. Players are either a Kakuna or a Metapod. Everyone has a life bar that is depleted when the A button is held to perform the move Harden, and when you take damage from the rocks being catapulted toward you. The last Pokemon standing wins, but just like in real life, if you stay hard for too long, you will have medical problems. Delibird Delivery arrives on schedule to our 3rd spot. In this splendid minigame, players play as the world's favorite delivery Pokemon, Delibird. Using only the control stick to move, players fill their sack with up to 5 gifts at once and carry it to the outgoing conveyor belt, all while avoiding the pesky Swinubs that will cause you to lose the gifts you've collected. Each gift has a value, and players can earn bonus points for picking up the same gift in a row. It's only logical that a logistical game like Delibird Delivery would deliver such a wonderful gameplay experience. In Sushi Go Round, players are gluttonous lickitungs who are at an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet with the simple goal of eating their money's worth of fishy treats. If the lickitungs don't eat their fill in one game, you can play another round when you get your second wind. Each dish being served is worth a different amount of money. The player who eats the most money worth of food wins. Sushi Go Round's concept is very similar to Delibird Delivery, but is better due to the lickitungs' reactions when they consume something too spicy for their big, sensitive tongues. You could say Sushi Go Round is very palatable to your gaming palate. Tumbling Togepi is the best minigame in the Pokemon Stadium series. Hands down, nuff said. Use the control stick to maneuver your Togepi through an obstacle-riddled treadmill. It's similar to Run Rattata Run, but has a much deeper meaning that I will probably discuss in a future video. Tumbling Togepi is ranked number 1. If you disagree with the rankings, let your opinions be heard in the comments section. And thank you for watching this video till the end.